Hi, welcome to AAPI Voice. My name is Lisa Gray. With me is my co-host, Grace Lee, a well-respected community leader and entrepreneur.
Hi, everyone. Lisa and I have been working with the community in the past decade. AAPI Voice is a program to promote Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and also build social, cultural, educational, business, and political bridges between the AAPI communities and the communities at large.
Thanks, Grace. Our guest today is Mr. Toshiki Masaki, the chair for Michigan Asian Pacific American Affairs Commission and our advisory board for the Michigan governor. Grace is the vice chair for the commission, and I have served on the board as well. Toshiki, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here.
First, please introduce yourself, your background, and your experience for our audience.
Thank you. My name is Toshiki Masaki. I've been living in Michigan since 1988 when I moved here to work for Ford Motor Company and retired at the end of 2018 after 31 years. I was appointed first as a MAPAAC commissioner by Governor Snyder back in 2013 and appointed as a chair by Governor Whitmer in December of last year. My heritage is obviously Japanese, and I've been serving as Detroit chapter president of Japanese American Citizens League, or JCL, since 2017, and was voted as a head of Midwest region since last year. I just say my vision for being the chair of MAPAAC is very simple, just to build on the success that was accomplished by the hard work by current and former commissioners.
MAPAAC was established in 2005, but most of the AAPI still do not know much about MAPAAC. Can you share with our audience about MAPAAC's history, mission, and vision?
Okay, like I said, in 2005, then Governor Jennifer Granholm established Governor's Advisory Council of Asia Pacific American Affairs, or ACAPAA. The purpose of the council was to advise the governor and the relevant state departments and agencies on policy matters related to APA topics in Michigan. But then in 2008, the law of Public Act of 536 was enacted to establish the Permanent State Commission, MAPAAC, or Michigan Asia Pacific American Affairs Commission. The significance of this passage is that the existence and operation of the commission is now required by the state law and also allows state budget to be allocated. The mission and vision statements, as well as the list of priorities of the commission, are all posted on our official website. But put it simply, we exist to advise all areas of state government, governors, various departments and agencies, and legislatures on matters impacting APA communities, and educate our communities on resources that state makes available to all its residents. And to achieve these goals, we have 21 commissioners, and they're all appointed by the governor to represent various APA communities throughout the state.
As you stated earlier, that MAPAAC has 21 commissioners. What are the commissioners' responsibilities?
So they are all appointed by the governor, and they serve 4-year terms, staggered to make sure that there's a continuity. So about a quarter of the 21 commissioners get either reappointed or new commissioners appointed. I would say their most important responsibility is to be the conduit to their respective communities to accomplish the goals of the MAPAAC that I just outlined. So more simply, they're the eyes and ears of the communities that they represent.
What kind of activities do you have to achieve MAPAAC's mission?
We have grouped our 21 commissioners into 4 committees with distinct objectives. One is focused on public policy. They're formulating policy positions on matters impacting APA communities and also working with APA Legislative Caucus of Michigan Legislature, which is led by State Senator Stephanie Chang. Another is leading community outreach. Currently, its most important initiative is to promote census participation by all of our communities. And in the past, this is a group that hosted over 20 focus groups throughout the state to get the sense of community needs, and that culminated in publication of Michigan Resource Toolkit. Third group is focused on issues impacting APA community members' human rights. 2 examples of its initiatives are anti-bullying workshops and immigration seminars. And then last but not least, we have a group focused on planning events to celebrate our cultural heritage. We hold 2 signature events, APA Heritage Month celebration in May at the state capitol, and APA Leaders Appreciation Gala in September.
AAPI is a very diverse community. How can MAPAAC meet every ethnic group's needs?
So clearly, 21 commissioners are not enough to reach every communities in all areas of the state. So we formed a network of what we call community partners that represent various ethnic communities throughout the state. And we rely on them to spread the information from MAPAAC as well as bring the issues of their concerns to us. And also, as I mentioned just now, we host 2 major events every year to strengthen our bonds. APA Heritage Month in May, which unfortunately we had to cancel, and APA Leader Appreciation Gala in September, which of course we are now doing it virtually instead of having a large gathering. And we also host a number of working meetings to share initiatives and programs, so we can learn from them and perhaps adapt for their other communities' needs.
AAPI has been impacted significantly during this pandemic. What has MAPAAC done to help the community, and what are the future plans?
So MAPAAC itself doesn't have resource or expertise to create our own content, so we engage our partners on the programs to address issues that came up. Most notably, in spring, we helped publicize and participated in 2 events organized by State Senator Stephanie Chang on hate incidences, and she invited Michigan's Attorney General Nessel and members of her staff, where we learned about how to deal with those incidences and difference between hate crimes, hate incidences, and others, so we can respond appropriately. And earlier this summer, we sponsored an event organized by Eastern Michigan University, where dialogues on hate incidents continued, but it also dealt with impact on businesses and mental health effects of pandemic, and how we can publicize various resources available to assist them. And we monitor activities of various APA organizations that are national organizations and share their information when their programs are relevant to our communities. And last but not least, we know that so many of our APA community groups stepped up to organize relief efforts on medical professionals and hospitals, so we use our network to publicize those initiatives. And we plan to do so as they come up more.
How can we develop leadership and encourage younger generations to pursue public service and run for elected office?
So I wouldn't say I'm an expert on this, but I think how State Senator Stephanie Chang and Representative Cooper got to where they are today is quite instructive, which is to say they both started as a community activist and worked their way up there to where they are. And I think working for campaigns or office of legislators at any level, state, local, and then perhaps federal, either through volunteering or as an employee, also provide a valuable experience. And then in terms of skill sets, I think the most important one is communication skills, both most importantly public speaking, and also writing in super concise way, because the messaging in short parts is very important.
How does MAPAAC work with the government of the state of Michigan?
Okay, so the MAPAAC is administered by the auspices of Office of Global Michigan, which is within the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, or LEO. So I am in constant communication with Global Michigan Director Feiruz Saad. So when I need help from other state agencies, the first person I reach out to is Director Saad, and then she helps me and other members of the commission establish a connection with relevant department. And also, as many of you know, actually I mentioned earlier too, that this is a year of census, and making sure all members of the communities are counted is one of the critical goals of MAPAAC this year. So I sit on the state's complete count committee and get all this latest census information from them. And I should also mention that the state's two other ethnic commissions, Hispanic Latino Commission and Commission on Middle East and American Affairs, are also under Office of Global Michigan. So we work together on issues that impact all of our communities.
You have a very impressive academic and professional backgrounds. You have received your bachelor from MIT, a master's degree from UC Berkeley, and MBA from U of M, and over 30 years of working experience at Ford. How does your experience prepare you for the role as the chair for MAPAAC?
So I would say my academic background definitely helped get my foot in the door, so to speak, to get interviews with when I was looking to move to different areas within Ford Motor Company. So for example, it is extremely unusual for an engineer, that's where I hired into initially at Ford, to get a position in government relations, because the backgrounds are completely different. But I think my MBA demonstrated my willingness to expand my knowledge base, so that got me invited to the interview. And then after that, you just obviously have to be very articulate in expressing what you bring to the table. And of course, I think my experience in that area of government relations really prepared me to work effectively in commission environment, because that's where I learned the importance of building coalitions and how to formulate common ground that everyone can coalesce around. And also that's where I learned to be very sensitive to external environment, meaning that anything you do will impact others, and also everyone's watching legislator or state departments on what we do. So we always have to be mindful of that.
If anyone is interested in applying to be the commissioner, what are your recommendations to prepare them to serve the community?
So first and foremost, they need to engage actively with their respective ethnic community and become familiar with community members and challenges that it is facing. So I wouldn't say it's necessary to have a leadership position within that community, but it is very important to be able to represent the community effectively, because that's what we look to each commissioner to do. And I think it is useful to speak to current or former commissioners to better understand MAPAAC's priorities and operations. And anyone can apply to be selected. There's a online application process to do so, but each applicant obviously needs to articulate how they will contribute to the objectives of MAPAAC.
Toshiki, Grace, and I thank you for taking time to be on our show.
Well, I really do appreciate these opportunities, and I hope I some of the things I said made some sense to everyone.
For everyone watching, thank you very much for joining us. Please subscribe our channel and see you next episode.
您好，我叫 Cindy， 我是一名2020年人口普查员。我的工作是探访并协助尚未完成普查的家庭。我会佩戴口罩，以确保每个人的安全。普查数据有助于分配每年数千亿的公共资金。抓住这次机会，你可选择上网、邮寄、致电，或由普查员协助完成问卷。你我未来由此展开，请上2020census.gov/languages 完成普查。